What's going on, you guys? It is Catman227 here, and I'm back with a Banshee review this time. Ooh, you guys are gonna love this one, because it took me a little while to get to this, because I wasn't quite sure what to say. Banshee was never really one of my favorite Warframes. Actually, I think for a time being, she was my least favorite. But, I don't know, a friend of mine bought me the primed version. I tried it out, and I really enjoyed her, so I gave her a second try. Now I'm sitting here, babbling on. Let's get this video started. Now, the first thing I want to talk to you guys about is, if you're planning on using Banshee's passive ability, or just her silence ability in general, to do large stealth missions, it's not going to work out as well as you think, simply because the enemies can still see you. So, just because you're running around with a huge shotgun and be completely silent doesn't mean the enemies can't still see you. So if they see you, they will still be alerted. Now, her first ability is called Sonic Boom. Now, Sonic Boom, all it really does is take a whole crowd of enemies within a 10-meter radius and will knock them on their ass, stunning them and dealing a little bit of damage. So this is really good if you're protecting something like a cryopod. Her second ability, I think I showed you this at the beginning of the video, is called Sonar. Sonar will allow all enemies to be seen on the minimap, and so this works kind of like Ivara's passive ability, except if you use Sonar, whatever color energy you have will light up a weak spot that you can shoot, and it will triple, and if you have enough power strength, quadruple the amount of damage that you use. And this does stack with two Banshees. So if you get a weak spot over the enemy's head, it will do double headshot damage, especially if you get a red crit over it, which is very, very good. Now, that works good with her third ability called Silence. Now, when this is active, as you can see, all of my bullets are 100% silent, and all the enemies will become deafened, so they will not hear your shots. And it will stun them for a duration of time, I think 5 seconds. So, you have 5 seconds for the enemies to be stunned. See, there you go, right there. And they will be gradually slowed. You'll be completely silent, and this does go for your allies as well. So you're going to be able to run around and be completely silent with a huge shotgun. So you basically use whatever weapon you want, and you'll be 100% silent. And if you want to be even more quiet than that, you can use Hush or Suppress. Now, this is one of the abilities that it's not entirely my thing. I personally do not care for this ability at all, but it's called Soundquake. Soundquake is, she lets down a huge shockwave between a 15-meter area and stuns all enemies. They will be staggered and slowly killed. It's mainly used as a stunning ability. It's not too much on damage, but that's kind of why I personally don't care for it, because I have maxed out power strength, and it doesn't exactly do what I hope it would do. So Banshee's really good. Like, all of her abilities, I've noticed, you're able to solo with them very well. Soundquake, you're not exactly able to solo, because if you're playing with something like Grenier or the Corpus, and you throw this down, they're outside of the range of Soundquake, they will still be able to shoot you because you're anchored to the ground. You cannot move. Now, this is an AoE ability, which means it will drain energy as you use it, so be careful when you're using this, because you will run out of energy very, very quickly. But other than that, she's pretty useful. I mean, I've been able to solo with her a few times. If you mod your melee weapon for crit damage, see, I'm using Galatine Prime. It stacks really well with Galatine Prime because it's a heavy sword, and heavy swords do a lot of crit damage. So if you can hit a weak spot with War or Galatine Prime whenever it's modded for crit damage, you'll be able to one-shot a level, I would say, level 2, no, probably a level 100 bombard if you can get a last hit on them. Now, another thing is, don't don't be this guy that sits on top of the cryopod all round and just throws down Soundquake, because you have to understand that yes, it's a good thing, but sometimes that can be very annoying, especially if you have maxed out power range. I only put a little bit of power range on this because already it covers a wide area even without it. So you can add in a little bit of power strength just to get that little bit of extra range to where it's useful, but don't have this. I wouldn't suggest having this active throughout the entire time you're in a defense mission, because it will definitely piss off some other players, and they're not going to want to play with you. If you have, but that's only if you have maxed out power range. If you have like short range, please have it active as much as you want. But I do have to say this: the bigger the power strength is, the less damage it will do in small bursts. Or if you go into negative power range, you'll do little bursts of damage, but over a faster period. So it all depends on how you want to mod it. So, and I mean, everything works good like it's supposed to. I personally don't care for Banshee as much as some other people do, but I don't see why I'm not a fan of her. I'm just not. But you may really like her, so I suggest you try her out. But I think that concludes the video. So if you guys have enjoyed this, please leave a like, please comment, and please subscribe. And please let me know which Warframe you want me to review next. So, I'll catch you guys in the next video. Goodbye.